I dedicate this to the real ones. Life's too short, I mean we lost Solid Wilson. And now I know the dude and I hate that. The city lost a son before I grew fat. Cause all we wanna do is eat and drop raps. But it's $13.50 for women's rap. I know you think I'm popping cause they give dap. But it's anxiety and stress when they don't clap. And depression is pressure, just get a visa. Never thought I'd find myself in love with the Misa. Half my peers down south are making thick racks. But Zim is home or the lover, you can fight facts, I ain't trying to leave. I can fight the system, I can fight economies. I can fight the police when they come at me. Sometimes all I need is God's word cause it comforts me. And sometimes a bit of that marijuana, let it come to me. So I'll pass and I'll pass. The drug I use is love and I know that ish won't last. But dog, life don't last. Shoot all your arrows, better lose them fast. Yeah, it's your boy Indigo Saint. We're out here on Asakhe.
Welcome to Anything in Musical. My name is Barton, the B Factor. This is Asakhe Music, Asakhe Online. Today on the show, I'm joined by Indigo Saint. Indigo is a co-founder of Crash 47. He's a co-founder of Kota.
Yes, sir.
He's a co-founder of Asilamali. What else are you founding, my guy?
A lot. Some of the other things are still like in the works. Like recently, we finished this platform called Records, which is for independent artists, and you know, we're trying to get everyone's music into like a playlist form, so that like people can enjoy music like readily. So you know, like 20 songs, Swahili, and then like the Indigo part came from me like trying to find myself, right? And what I end up finding is more about like my spiritual self, like you know, so like Indigo is something from that aspect of my life. So like my spirituality, so much so, you know. So the Indigo part comes from Indigoism, which is it's a belief that like you have the power to see into like the future. You have the power it's the power of foresight, right? Like sometimes you get yourself into a situation and you can see that like, you know, something bad here is about to happen, and that's that power of like foresight. So for me with my music, I always try and write from that perspective. I always try and write from, okay, like what am I looking at, and who am I speaking to? Am I speaking to people right now? Am I foreseeing something, or is there something that I think is a problem for me that I feel is going to become a problem for a lot of people like later?
Let's talk about the love for music. When did this thing of music start? What inspired your music journey?
I think I was old. I was 7. Saslala in Popoma, and my dad had this one of those record players. And like I remember my first musical experience was like listening to like the Jackson 5s and the Beatles and the Eagles, also like Hotel California and Jimi Hendrix. But now it was different because like now I was listening to it on vinyl, and you know my dad always had like this crazy love for music, and he'd always point out to me how clean like the records were, how clean the sound was, you know. So from like 7, I was just like for me like music was just like something that I just loved. So even like singing then came like second nature. Joined choir when I was in high school. I used to be shy as hell like in primary school. Then high school I kind of like broke out of it, and like towards the end of like my high school, because I also used to write poetry. Then poetry, hip hop, rap, it just kind of all made sense.
Let's talk about your first break. Who gave you your first break in music, in particular in Bulawayo?
It had to be I think his name is A Kid with No Tag. First studio experience, I went there. I went to Scotty Ice. It was a long time ago, like 2010. And I'm in the studio, and I'm like, I've written like my song, it was whack. And then he heard me, and he said to me, he was like, "Oh, dude, I think you can sing, so please sing on my hook, on the hook for my song." And then after that, him and I became friends, and he's the one who knew a lot of like the other artists, because I was like relatively new. So he knew ASAP, he knew Kanye's JR, he knew Young Tyrant before like he was like this big now. So he's the one who like really like connected me with like a lot of artists, and also he gave me that opportunity to write more music, you know?
Speaking of your music, Whom are you targeting with the music, and what's the message behind your music?
I want to tell stories which make people uncomfortable, because I feel like in that discomfort, that's where growth is.
Yeah.
So, you know, like some of the things that I initially started speaking about was like the things around mental health, and like the associated like disorders, you know. So yeah, like your depression, your anxiety, addiction, but then like my music is like evolved because like now there's been like so many other things that I've been open to. So now I have like friends who are girls, and from the friends that I have, like 4 of them have told me that like they've been like sexually abused in one form or another, you know. And for me to not make music about like an issue like that then sets me that much back, you know what I mean? So I try and speak about like things like that, you know, like mental health is always going to be a thing. Misogyny, you know, like sexual abuse and like rape, and even as far as like, you know, speaking on, I guess, like governmental issues, rather socio-political issues. I mean, not like narrow it down like that, and just how we're living as a youth and how we're surviving as a youth. So I use my environment a lot to channel like the messages. So it could be anything. I could write a song about today, you know.
So now I was at the gallery sometime, talk about the late Friday night. Yes. People saying friends of Indigo, friends of Indigo, friends of, what is friends of Indigo?
Initially I had an account, right? I had a Twitter account, and it was great. I think I had like 13.5K followers. And then I got suspended. I think someone reported me for something, I don't even know for what, but I hadn't tweeted in a long time. When I came back to my account was suspended. But then now, I was like, okay, well, it was there, now it's lost. So what do we do? Do we cry and then like, or do we start again? So this time around, I figured like what my account was gonna be like focused on like people that I'm calling friends of Indigo, and the Indigo bit that I'm referring to, yes, it's me, but then like I'm also referring to that openness to better, I can't say really to better things, but that openness to a more positive lifestyle, to a more positive right now, you know. So that's what I'm really trying to do with that. My website is also Friends of Indigo, but I'm just really trying to connect as many people. So I know like there are people that are like friends now because like we were drinking and then I was like, oh, you should meet this person does this and you also do this, and you know, so yeah.
Now, let's talk about earlier when we were talking about the hubs, the creative hubs, what is important for arts, for the growth of our art. How important, you're part of the hubs as well.
Yes.
Tell us about your role in those hubs.
Right. Well, our hub has a more musical focus, because you know there's 13 members in our hub, and majority of them are artists, right? But in like being a part of this like Connected Sahara, what I'm really trying to achieve with it is to find like a means in which, like a template, for example, right, in which say for the sector that I belong in, right, one that can be duplicated, right? So I know there's guys who have studios at Culture Park, in Keta, in Makwekwe, and you also have guys who have studios in Hillside, in Machamtlope, you know, and we operate differently, but more or less we're all really the same thing, you know. And being a part of the Connected Sahara family is insane, because now, you know, you have people who are really doing exceptional work, like the guys from B2C, and now I think they bring startups to life. So like you come with your tech idea, and then they take it from idea to product to market, right? And in that there's like a means in which from it being an idea to it going out, there's like value that's being transferred. And musically, I also feel like it's the same thing, you know. The only thing that's difficult is that like no one has actually done it, or no one has dedicated their time towards like figuring out like, okay, how do how do you add value to like say something that is musical, you know, because there is value in that, you know, there is value in that. So yeah, so that Mina, that's what I'm trying to, find. But even more so, like even like establishing like connections for like collaborations, and not just within my field, but like across discipline.
Indigo, let's talk about the Oka as well as Courage 47 as well as Asnamali.
Right.
What is all about that?
Cottage 47 is it's the name of our hub, right? So Cottage 47, so we termed ourselves as a mobile music studio, right? And the idea behind that is that wherever you go, as long as you have your laptop, as long as you have a pair of earphones, you're a production studio. You can make beats, you can edit, you can, if you want, you can also record, right? So we have 3 studios, one in Sourcetown, one in Machamhlope, and then Enye Kwabaland. So, and again with like the associated artists from each of those studios. Kokla and Asila Malia now, these are brands that we created underneath our hub, right? Because again, like one of the questions that's always asked is like, okay, like when you are in the creative industry or creative sector and stuff, how are you sustainable? Like how are you making your money? And it's that much more difficult when, you know, when you're an artist, because also show money is no money, right? There's still that you come perform, it's for promo, you know. But you know, Tina, what we decided to do, we're like, no, okay, let's leverage what we have going for us, right? We were not necessarily the biggest personalities in the country, but we do have like some sort of influence, right? So we created the t-shirts because what we wanted to do is we wanted to create Woka, right? So we created the t-shirts, which are it's a plain tee with like an old Zim note on it. Again, just to keep that like the conversation going as well, because of the times.
I saw MJ Singh's wearing one.
Yeah. So again, it's like that thing to be like, okay, yes, like, you know what I mean? And look, if we're not gonna use it, let's get creative with it.
Conversations, for the future generations.
You know, So so we made those t-shirts. The initial profits that we made from those t-shirts are now what helped us now start Kwokla. And Kwokla now is an online platform on which like you can get counseling. But it's free counseling, right? And for us to make this work, we had to find volunteer counselors, like people who are like really on some. Yes, you know, I can give you my time from this time to this time to have conversations with young people around depression, anxiety, etc., etc., etc. So you know, so the Asila Mali things on my t-shirt and everything. That's like really what got us like, okay, now I'm correct now. And now we have like a bid to fund and to start this this platform that we're running.
So at the moment, what are you working on as Indigo Saint, the artist, the musician? What are you currently working on?
We have a collaboration project as Cottage 47. We are now there's 7 artists. 7 artists. And everybody else who's on the team is doing something that's like admin related. So we're releasing an album between like the 7 of us. We're trying to make it the biggest collaboration album, and going across not just, again as I was saying, not just within like our own discipline. So we're trying to get Miss T from Kulumani FM involved as well. Okra also getting him involved in that project. You know, a couple of businesses and a couple of business owners as well. We just wanna see. I can't like give away too much, but we want to see if we can like change the narrative at least a little, especially when it comes to how music releases are how to like release music or how to sell music.
So one of the issues that we deal with is mental illness and depression.
Right.
So there's someone watching this show right now. They say, Indigo, say something to me. Talk to me. I'm depressed. Talk to me. What can you say to them? They're watching the show. They want you to say something to them. What can you say that?
Yeah. I could use myself as an example, right? But that's also like a difficult thing because then, you know, our stories and our backgrounds are so different. And I know like for some of the things that I've been through that I've like felt like extremely like hell-like, right? To somebody else, the degree of it might not be like that, right? But there's one of two things that can happen when you are feeling depressed, right? It's either in Teliana, you're going to allow it to destroy you, right? And it's gonna keep you within that loop, right? Of feeling sad and of feeling bad and of feeling really sad for yourself, really most of the time, right? Or it's katlisana, you know, you can use this time right now to figure out what life is like trying to show you, right? Because more often than not, when you look back at it, you start to realize that no, actually, the number when I was depressed, right? It felt like it was forever, but it was really for maybe a day, you know, and maybe not even the whole day, maybe for like 2 or 3 hours, right? But the rest of your day was like pretty much normal, right? It's just that like when it's a downer, it's like a real downer, and that's the only thing that like we concentrate on, you know. But this is how I maneuver through like my depression. Like, you know, I was like, okay, yes, this thing here is really making me feel some type of way. But there's one of two things that can happen. It's either I'm going to just take it as it is and just be like, okay, cool, or I'm going to find a lesson somehow from that, and that's the difficult part. See, like someone would want a quick fix to the depression, and someone would want a quick fix to anxiety. And the truth of the matter is, dude, like there's no quick fix. Yeah. You know, it's work. You know, it's work. And the first part of you starting to get better is acknowledging the fact that this is gonna be work. You know, if you relax, it's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back stronger. But when you take it like that, like now I've even seen like sometimes the smallest thing will just like get me from almost getting into like a really deep like depression into being okay. So food, for example, right? Like my friend would say, dog, sometimes you're not depressed, sometimes you're just hungry. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's like an awkward thing, it's an odd thing to say, but like for real, have a fruit and see how that changes your life. You know what I mean? Natamans and see how that changes your life. Even like say like doing like chores. You're feeling a bit down, get into the kitchen and like make yourself busy and see how much of a difference that does for your mentality, for the things that are around you. And that's the thing, like it's work. Because most of the time what happens is uzizwa depressed and then yalala. And then you know you sleep from 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. You know, and you wake up and you're groggy and you're hungry, you're tired, and you know, and all of that your physical well-being is also going to contribute to your mental well-being. You know,
Right, Indigo, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for sharing your story.
Thank you, my king.
Let's keep on making those conversations. Let's keep on talking those conversations. And this has been Anything Musical. My name is Brighton on the P Factor. This is Asakhe Online, Anything Musical. I was joined by Indigo Saint, talking to me about his life, his career through the arts and Bulawayo creativity. Until next time, do follow me on Twitter at the Real P Factor. Do follow us on Twitter at CITEZW. Do follow him on Twitter
at Friends of Indigo.
At Friends of Indigo. Until next time, hashtag Asakhe.
So I say, Source town where I'm from, I'ma rep it proudly. You really wouldn't make it on these ends. The cops smoke the weed that they're getting from North End, but Zafo, the kids will be smoking on weekends. That's suspect. That pretty days from your daughter got knocked up, cause young boys don't care about condoms. There's really zero options as you trading that Forex. It ain't safe, but in the hood, your boy more trusted than do Rex. No pull out, flow, make it call out like Honda Fits. Cause after 8, boy, it's $4.50. That ass fatty won't fit in that Honda Fit. Before the ass, I pay like $5.50. New age change, money swap berries for US. Yeah, the tender being illegal, I'm tending to US. Be positive peer pressure, the poverty breed depression. Cause what's a king when lighties can't beat depression? It's your boy Indigo Saint.
Shout out.